Hey everybody, we are back with the next lesson in the Learn to Watercolor book with Lacey Walker, Rebel Union Crafts, Unicorn Crafts, my bad. I'm not at all connected to or in collaboration with or anything like that. I just picked this up at my local Joann's and am working through it. The cool thing about this book is here are the lessons on this side, and here are the printed watercolor pages to kind of guide you. So this lesson, this Watercolor Wednesday lesson, is A Whale of a Time. Something peaceful and yet mysterious about whales. I love the fact that even though we've studied them extensively, they have a bit of a secret life in the ocean depths. In this painting, we're exploring making fun textures with a kitchen staple, salt. I've got my salt right here. Your results will vary depending on the size of salt grain used, so this one might be fun to do a few different times with different salts to see what you like best. Yeah, well, we're not going to do that. Supplies: a size 3 quill brush or a size 12 round brush. We have our handy dandy size 11 because I don't have a 12. And salt, we got that. So the color palette is Payne's Gray, which is a little bit of a headache for me because my Payne's Gray is a mix of black and blue. Because my little palette doesn't really have a Payne's Gray. It has a black and it has a handful of blues. So to me, Payne's Gray is like a dark blue black. Anywho, Payne's Gray, Phthalo Blue, Prussian Blue, Quin Magenta, Sap Green. Sap Green is another tricky one on mine, but we'll work with it. Color mixing: teal, 50% Phthalo Blue, 50% Sap Green, and about 70% saturation. And then color mixing: deep purple, 50% Prussian Blue, 50% Quin Magenta, and about 50% saturation. The techniques are charging, which we did last week with the flower, and then salt. So I remember using salt way back in the Wayback Days in elementary. It was like a cool, we did a winter scene and we did a background with all these pretty watercolors and sprinkled salt, and then we painted a little house in the foreground. So step 1, get your mixing tray. Where did it go? Shell. I was playing around in my art journal earlier with my watercolors, so it was over there on the sink where I cleaned up my mess. Okay. Step 1, mix up a watery, and this, by the way, is just a 1-page instruction. So these are our instructions, just 1 page. So step 1, mix up a watery mixture of the Phthalo Blue, another of the Prussian Blue, and then the 2 custom colors. Okay, I'm gonna need some more trays. One of these days I'll read through these before I start with you guys, so I'll have everything. I did remember to get the salt, so that is that. I've got a little paint tray, some more paint trays. Okay. Mix up a watery mixture of the Phthalo Blue. I did refill my water bottle too. I think last week it was about on its last leg. Phthalo Blue, Prussian Blue, and then the 2 custom colors, which are teal and deep purple. Okay. Set the salt out of the way for a minute. Make sure my paints are nice and charged. Okay. Watery mixture of the Phthalo Blue, Prussian Blue. Phthalo Blue. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have my little chart numbered. That's why I keep counting. Watery mixture of the phthalo blue, I would say that's a pretty watery mixture. The Prussian blue. That's a pretty watery mixture. And then the 2 custom colors. Okay, the custom colors are teal, and that's 50% phthalo and 50% sap green, which I don't really have a sap green. So we're going to do phthalo. I don't know how you figure out 50%, but we're just going to do that. I guess half and half of whatever it comes. And like I said, my sap green is a mixture of several different greens going on here. That's pretty dark. But we're going to work with it. It's pretty dark, but that's okay. And then deep purple is Prussian blue and Quin magenta. Quin magenta is 1, 2, 3. I do like these colors, that's for sure. Really pretty. So there's our Quin magenta and Prussian blue. Prussian blue, 1, 2, 3. We're going for a deep purple. I'm going to say that's deep purple. It's actually more blue than it is purple, so let's add another hint of the Quin. There we go. That's a deep purple. Okay. So fill your brush with any of the colors and then splatter it on the page by hitting your finger. Okay. We only do one color, or I think we'll do this. And then we'll do this blue. Let's come over here by your head. And just because, we'll get them all in there. Why not? Okay. While the splatters are still wet, fill your brush with clean water and brush over the top of the whale and the fins, leaving the belly white. Okay. Fill your brush with clean water and brush over the top of the whale and the fins, leaving the belly white. Okay. I guess that's a way to get the splatters all mixed in, so we don't have splatters disrupting us. Not very dark, but leaving the belly white. The water will combine with the splatter colors and give you a nice base coat. Okay. It's a very light base coat, but okay. We did what she said. Drop some watery Prussian blue, phthalo blue, and the custom teal and deep room into the body and fins. Err on the side of too much water and color. Ooh, that's a little nerve-wracking, but okay. Drop some watery Prussian blue, phthalo blue, teal, and deep. So she wants a little bit of all of them. So we'll do that. And that. And that. And that. I'm just going with it. While the color is still wet, sprinkle salt generously on the well where you want the texture. Okay. I'm OCD. I gotta go up to the lines. Sprinkle salt where we want the texture. Where do we want the texture? And she's got a very blue well. I'm just not so sure my well is blue enough. We're going to sprinkle some salt here in just a second. We're going to do, mainly around his middle and back end. A little bit up top, but not a lot. Okay. Notice how the pigment clusters around the salt. You can also add a bit of Payne's Gray along the bottom of the well to add shadow. Let it dry or make it dry. Okay, now you tell me. The Payne's Gray, let's see here. I think what I'm going to do, let me read ahead a little bit. I think what I want to do is add some black to, I'm going to add some black to this teal to kind of make our Payne's Gray. I think that will be okay. It's not very dark, but that's okay. Not very dark at all. There we go. There's some shadow going on. Go around his eye as well. Because why not? Getting a little crazy with the Payne's Gray shell. Slow it down. Slow it down, slow it down. I don't know if y'all noticed or not, but since we didn't let our little droplets dry, she didn't tell us to, they're kind of smearing. Not a fan of that. Let it dry or make it dry. Okay, we're gonna make it dry. You know what? We didn't color the fins down here. Why we didn't color the fins? I guess she said fins, but I was thinking these were the fins that we were talking about, but so we gotta go over this step. We really don't have a base because we let our dots dry, but that's okay. And I don't necessarily need texture on these. I might add some salt, but maybe not. And then we dipped in the different colors. And we don't have teal because we made it a Payne's gray. That's okay. The Payne's gray back in the back here. Oh, we're running into the other fin. Okay, we're gonna add a little bitty bit of salt. On the edge of that. And now we're going back to drying. Actually, I feel like I need a little bit more Payne's gray. Oh, come on. Okay, now let's dry. Mainly just focused on getting dry around here. I have such a glare. Gotta figure out my lighting when doing these. Okay. What's the next step? Once the top of the well is dry, wet the belly with water and paint a light wash of very desaturated phthalo blue. And that's this one. Let's desaturate us. Yeah. We're okay to desaturate quite a bit. Desaturate? Ah, okay. Pay attention, Shell. Once the top well dry, wet the belly with water and paint a light wash of very desaturated phthalo blue. Desaturated means like straight from the pan, because you would saturate it with water. So let's paint the belly. Desaturated phthalo blue. That's straight from the bucket. I'm going to kind of go along these lines. I actually kind of like this other blue in here a little better. It's a little darker. Where did it go? I'm gonna add some Payne's Gray, the weird teal Payne's Gray that we've made. Just 'cause. Give a little bit of shadow to these lines that are in here. Yeah, okay. Okay. Drop some Payne's Gray along the bottom and any lines you want to emphasize. Let this dry or make it dry. I want to do something with this down here. Spread it out or something. I'm going to go back in with this Payne's Gray back along this fin here. Push that back. Okay. When fully dry, remove the salt. You can clean fingers. Some salt will remain. Just focus on big chunks. Then take a deep. Okay, we're gonna get this dry and then see where we're at. use my towel. I'm going to set this off to the side and brush off. I feel like we're dry enough that I can brush off the salt, so. Okay, I don't know if you guys can see the in details of it. I kind of like it. Remove the salt using clean finger. Some salt will remain, so just focus it. Then take a clean, damp brush and wipe it off so there's barely any water left in it. Dip the tip in some concentrated Payne's Gray, using the tip of your brush to paint the eye details and add thin line along the line between the belly and the body. Okay. So we need to point out the line, the eyeball here. Come on. Yeah, that made it pop. Okay. And then I'm going to do a line between the belly and, which I feel like I did pretty good keeping that separate. It didn't say to, but I kind of want to outline that fin. Probably mistake in doing that, but. Yeah. Not bad. I think I want to kind of add to these lines that are already here. Mainly so they just don't look like pencil lines. Okay. Okay. I like it. Honestly, the more I play with it, the more I like it. I like that a lot, actually. Now, what I don't like is that I didn't get all crazy with the background splotchies. I feel like it needs more splotchies. Like this one has quite a bit of splotchies. Mine really doesn't, so. But I'm going to leave it alone. I'm not going to piddle with it too much. I kind of really do like it, though. The details and all that. Yeah. There you have it. A whale of a time. That's our lesson. It's not as dark as the one on the picture, but that's okay. You know, that's okay. thanks for joining me. I'll see you guys next week. Let's see what next week is. Everything's Peachy is next week. And it's got a couple of pages of instructions, so that should be fun. So anyways, thanks for joining me. I'll see you guys next time. Bye for now.